Demographics. Statistical information on the people of an area. Demographics are the statistical information of the makeup of a people of a specified area, region, or location. As might be imagined, the makeup of a people might include any number of metrics, including but not limited to their income, social economic status, education levels, disposable income, buying habits, or any number of other aspects which might be appropriately used to describe people. Demographics are used to better serve the people of a region or area. Demographics is the statistical information on the people of an area. Related words: demography. Executrix. Female person named in will to administer the will. The executor or executrix is the person named in a will to administer the will. If no person is named in the will, and the court appoints him or her, he or she is called an administrator or an administratrix. The executor is used for a male, and the executrix is used for a female. Related words: executor. FICO Score. A number representing a person's credit risk. FICO stands for Fair Isaac and Company, Inc., which is the company that came up with the, quote, FICO Score, end quote. A FICO score is a credit rating score ranging up to 850. In general, a FICO score of 350 is a very poor score and a high risk for lending. A FICO score of 650 says a person pays his bills, but often late. FICO scores of 700 and up represent people who pay their bills and pay them on time. A FICO score of above 800 is a very good score, and such a person would be a low lending risk. A credit report is a document or record of a person or company's past financial behavior. A credit report will contain all the money borrowed and therefore owed, and a history of how on-time payments were made. A credit report is not a credit score, which is what a FICO score is. A FICO score is a credit risk score. Commercial email. An email for the purpose of gaining a customer. The CAN-SPAM Act of 2003 regulates commercial emailing of potential customers. The rules of the Act first define commercial emailing as an email for the purpose of gaining a customer. Once a salesperson and a customer are engaged in a transaction, then such emails are excluded from the Act. Commercial emails must be clearly identified as a solicitation, must include a valid postal address, include the option for the receiver to opt out of future emails from the sender, and contain a return email address. Penalties for violations include fines and possible jail terms up to 5 years. Commercial email is an email for the purpose of gaining a customer. Related words: CAN-SPAM Act of 2003. Settlement. End of escrow, the close of a real estate transaction. Settlement is at the end of escrow when accounts are settled. That is, the buyer has his deposit money turned in. The seller has paid for her agreed-upon commitments. The agents get paid, and the lender has funded the loan. Additionally, often service providers like appraisers, inspectors, insurance companies, etc. may be paid at this time. Settlement is the end of escrow or the close of escrow or the close of a real estate deal when all accounts are settled through escrow. Coastal wetlands. Areas covered by a shallow layer of water by the coast. Wetlands are areas covered by a shallow layer of water. Coastal is by the coast. Coastal wetlands are areas covered by a shallow layer of water by the coast. The opposite of coastal wetlands are inland wetlands. The Clean Water Act of 1977, CWA, regulates discharged water into the water of the United States and its wetlands. Coastal wetlands are areas covered by a shallow layer of water by the coast. Antonyms: inland wetlands. Related words: Clean Water Act of 1977, CWA. Bracing. Structure which resists lateral or sideways forces. Bracing is a part of a structure that resists lateral or sideways forces, parentheses. Earthquake forces can be sideways forces, end parentheses. Bracing is usually diagonal bracing, or shear walls, or shear panels. Shear is another name for lateral forces on a structure. Lateral bracing is used to resist shear forces on a structure. Diagonal bracing is good for resisting lateral forces, but a shear panel is a 2x4 stud wall with plywood on either side, making a very rigid box which can resist a lot of shear forces. Such walls are called shear walls. Synonyms: diagonal bracing, shear walls, shear panels. Related words: shear, earthquake load. Dome. Roof shape with circular base and half of a sphere. Real estate professionals need to be familiar with different types of roof styles. Some of the many include gable, gable with dormers, hip, mansard, flat, shed, butterfly shed, monitor shed, gambrel, parentheses barn, end parentheses, pagoda, parentheses temple, end parentheses, cone, Mediterranean, thatched, A-frame, pyramid, etc. A dome roof is a roof in the shape of half of a sphere, parentheses, also called a hemisphere, end parentheses. Or maybe think of those buildings that house the really large telescopes. One of the most famous examples is the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The dome roof is an onion dome roof if at the top of the dome there is a vertical extension or spire, parentheses, like the end of an onion, end parentheses, or cupola, parentheses, if used for ventilation, end parentheses. The Taj Mahal in India has an onion dome. The Dome of the Rock has a dome. Related words: roof types. Manzard. Very fancy, stately, and ornate. European style of architecture. Manzard is a name of an architectural style. Think of the old English mansions you might have seen in the movies, like the home used in the PBS series Downton Abbey, or the home used for the Angelina Jolie, Lara Croft Tomb Raider movie series. The architecture style of these homes, mansions, and is Mansard style. Potable, safe for drinking. Water that is potable is safe for drinking.